What's up guys, Vulkan here, and today we're taking a look at Biomutant. Now, this is a game that I've had my eye on for a long time, and it's one of those games that has really kind of flown under the radar, and a lot of players are really curious what this game truly is. The developers haven't given us much information outside of interviews and reveal trailers, but those are all the way back from 2018. And honestly, a lot of players, including myself, had thought the game had died because there just wasn't a lot of news. Well, if you fast forward to this year, the developers finally poked their head above water and surprised everyone with a new trailer and a release date of May 25th. So now we can finally answer the question, what is Biomutant? So on the surface, the developers of Biomutant, Experiment 101, describe the game as a Kung Fu meets Fable, and the game allows players to engage in fast-paced combat, deep character customization, tons and tons of loot, a deep crafting system, and a huge post-apocalyptic world to explore. Now, it's also worth mentioning that Experiment 101 is full of former Avalanche Studios employees who worked on all of the Just Cause games. So they have a really good handle on making a pretty great open world game. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is the story, because this ties heavily into all of the other aspects of the game. Now, in Biomutant, there was this global disaster, and it caused poisonous oil to seep up from the ground and taint the Tree of Life. And the Tree of Life is this massive tree that lives at the center of the game, and this tree has 5 roots that spread out across the world. And these roots are being eaten by a boss creature, which in turn kills the tree and kills the world. And there are also 6 tribes that the player can interact with. Now, half of these tribes want to heal the tree, restore the world, right? Save it, be the superheroes. The other 3 are focused on their own plans and their own problems. They really don't care about the tree, anything that happens. They just want to solve their own problems in their small little world. Now, this is where the karma system comes into play. And the karma system is essentially a reputation system. The more you help a tribe, the more access you get to their quests, their gear, and other benefits. However, you might build resentment from other tribes, and unfortunately that means you might have to kill off an entire tribe to keep your karma strong with the others. I mean, it's just the cost of doing business. So essentially we have a world tree that's being killed off by bad guys, and we need to partner up with other tribes to help either save the tree or let it die, because yes, you can be one of those people that just lets the tree die. There are multiple endings in this game, and your choices and plot lines will lead to different endings. And it's also worth noting that the world of Biomutant can be seamlessly and freely explored after the introduction. And this includes finding different vehicles to use, like jet skis, mechs, hot air balloons. So really, you don't have to follow any missions or storylines. You can just explore and have a good time. Now, if you want to follow along with the story, there are tons of NPCs and a narrator that you can find and interact with. So now that we know the plot, I want to jump into creating your character. So when you first start Biomutant, you're given the choice of a lineage to join. And this is going to dictate what genetics your character has and what evolutions that you can make. Now these are things like making your character super big and able to dish out and take more damage, right? It's a big burly kind of mammal thing, but they're also slow and they're low on intelligence. Or maybe you want to be super quick but really kind of squishy, or really smart, but maybe you don't dish out a lot of melee damage. You're more of a ranged character. And all of your choices and customizations are going to affect what your character will excel at and struggle with. And then on top of all of this, you're going to find contaminated areas in the world that will affect your character and permanently mutate them in different ways. So besides choosing your DNA and genetics, you'll also get to allot some starting attribute points into things like strength, vitality, and luck. Now, in addition to making your character at the start, you'll also be able to find and equip different parts out in the world. These are things like robotic legs, wings, claws, and other upgrades that can be used to access new areas of the map or help you out in combat. And this is something that I'm really excited for. It's not something new in gaming, but I like that it alters the look of your character. Now, one key thing to call out here is that certain parts of the map will be inaccessible until you find an item to help. So for instance, there are these places called death zones, and these death zones require an oxygen tank or a gas mask to enter, otherwise you're going to die. So naturally, these are great places to find top-end gear, tough boss battles, and they're going to be your kind of end-game areas. Now, when it comes to combat, this is where Biomutant gameplay really shines. The developers have intertwined ranged and melee gameplay with a kung fu kind of skin. So you're going to be flying all over the place. You're going to be shooting guns, using samurai swords, nunchucks, and all kinds of crazy weapons to dish out damage. You'll also be able to unlock special skills and attack combos called Wung Fu. Now, these are learned from Kung Fu masters hidden throughout the world that offer quests that unlock their signature style. And this could be something basic like dual wielding to things that are a little more intense and specific like attacks or debuffs. Now, I mentioned the crazy weaponry, right? I talked about the crazy weaponry, but I really want to emphasize this. The loot in Biomutant is very deep, and I'm talking like Mariana's Trench deep. So out in the world, you're going to find parts and gizmos that can be used to create or modify weapons. These can be something like a buzzsaw blade or a toothbrush that you can add a handle to. And these are going to adjust the type of damage you deal, the effects that your weapons will cause, and how effective your weapon will be and how quickly you can attack with it, among other stats. And this all stems from the crafting system, where you actually assemble these items. Now I'm talking about the process of picking a handle, a blade, attachments, a handguard, everything that goes into a melee weapon and assembling it yourself. And the same goes for ranged in terms of barrels, magazines, grips, triggers, all of that stuff. So anything that goes into an actual gun will go into this crafting system. And the developers have confirmed that we have over 1 million different combinations that we'll be able to explore and assemble for both ranged and melee weapons. And all of these parts come in a variety of rarities, from common to legendary, and as you climb up that rarity ladder, you'll receive greater benefits and crazier effects. Now, when it comes to Biomutant gameplay, we've seen a little bit here and there, but luckily, as of late, some channels were able to get some demo gameplay and posted online that I've been showing here in the background. So please take a look at their links in the description below, including a full 55-minute gameplay demo from GameCross. So this is what we know about Biomutant so far. And as we get closer to launch, I'm hoping to see more and more of the game to learn if there's an actual end-game grind or if this is just a massive world for us to enjoy and explore. Either one, I'm very much looking forward to. So if you want to pre-order Biomutant, you can do so on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. If you do pre-order, you're going to receive a Mercenary class DLC that allows you to play as a samurai right from the start. If you don't pre-order, you can buy this DLC later. Now, as a reminder, Biomutant is launching on May 25th, so get your calendars ready. Now I'm going to go ahead and head out. I'm going to let this new gameplay roll so you can all see how Biomutant plays from the demo. As always, thank you guys so much for the support. This has been Vulkan, and I'll talk to you next time.
Jojo met Bob. Joe Dowda built Jody.
Define your genetic structure. Pick your fur type. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. That will work. Adventure is in the air, despite the heat from the ground below, where ashes of fire wait to be woken. Oh no, they got you! Reeled in and off to a bad start. Tribes are out for skronky scrap. Your whiff blimp is up next. A tribe? Tug of war, there is. I bet you can give it just that. Your melee super wushu is ready to go. Everything to bits.
Babu.
The tribe's caught a fluffy hulk. Better watch out. It's no pet. Blasting everything to bits. I knew it! They couldn't shoot it down. The Hulk's on the loose! The young Super Wushu is locked and loaded. Melee Super Wushu is ready to go. That emergency kit is from the old days when you needed to pack a punch to survive. Wow, bet that knuck makes a tight fist. Tunnels like this still carry echoes from the past. Can you hear me? Chugga, chugga, chugga. Choo choo! Big ones fall harder. The chug yard, where they parked the choo-choos and fueled them up. It's one of the few places that's aged well. It used to look like a dump. It's easy to walk the line when your karma is in balance. Spilled liquid soap is always a slippery slope. Who'd expect that? A bubble bobble big enough to go bang. A tribe flip-flonker will throw you in at the deep end given the chance. This box once tailed a chugga chugga. Now it's just off track. Tribes always scavenging big and bad. White a bonk, busy ram-banging the door. This is your chance. Long Super Wushu is all wound up. Better defuse that sprocket before it blows up in your face. Yes, you can do anything. Only the sky is the limit. Now, Let's take this back to Earth. Wow, you really took that all the way down to the end. In flames.